So what drew you to this particular location?
Well, I've always loved downtown Sarasota.
Hey guys, Rich Tyson coming at you today with an exciting opportunity to take a look at this 17th floor penthouse unit at 1350 Main Street in downtown Sarasota. As you're gonna see, the views from here are absolutely breathtaking. The fit and finish and the amenities within this unit itself are something out of this world. I can't wait to introduce you to the owner, the designer, and the person who did the build out on creating this amazing condo. First of all, Ronnie, I want to thank you for inviting us into this amazing unit today. So what drew you to this particular location?
Well, I've always loved downtown Sarasota. I was living on Longbow Key for several years, and I made a transition to downtown. This unit was not for sale when I first inquired about living in the downtown area. Shortly thereafter, I moved into a rental into this particular building, 1315 Main. The penthouse became available. I came up, and after 5 minutes, I purchased the unit.
When you came in, did you have a pretty clear, direction as to where you wanted to take it in terms of the aesthetics, or did you tap into your designer to provide a lot of insights there?
This was not my first time purchasing a view unit. I lived in Los Angeles for the majority of my life, and I lived in Hollywood Hills with outstanding views with the cityscape and with the ocean. I understood the idea of having a penthouse with these marvelous views. When I bought the unit, it was a different unit altogether. But I had the vision of what I wanted this to be, but it didn't curate immediately. It took some time to see what I wanted in my vision, and that's how it came to be.
Well, when Ronnie brought me onto this project, I've worked with him in the past, and we've done several of his other units and also some of his commercial spacious together. So I'm even without him saying a specific design direction that he wanted to go with, I was able to kind of read what we've done in the past and then push the envelope further and bring in some new material finishes. One of the things that is signature to a lot of the properties that we have done is the brick that you see on all the exterior walls of this condo. A lot of people have commented on it, and it's a very modern condo that we've created, and this brick just brings a lot of warmth and hominess to it. So with the design direction was pretty well just broad open. He let me bring ideas to the table, and we kind of collaborated and tweaked it to just have the best outcome.
How did you go about choosing Trinity to both design and construct the unit for you?
Well, it's a great question. I met Trinity Design. I met with Brittany around 10 years ago, and she worked on some of my other properties in Longbow Key and in downtown Sarasota on a commercial building. We discussed the opportunity of doing this unit together. She introduced me to her husband, Mike Urcoza, from Trinity Construction. We had a great meeting. We talked about my vision, what their vision was, what their ethos was on building. We clicked very well, and we moved forward from there.
Obviously, this project is all in-house with Trinity Construction and Design. What are the benefits to having the people that are executing on your vision down the hall necessarily?
Well, it's great. Not only is my husband the owner of Trinity Construction and Design, but the other project managers that I work with are also very close friends. So having them down the office and also having just the comfort level to bring any question to them as far as building is concerned and what we can and cannot do, it's great and an instant answer to the question.
So what of this project presented the biggest challenge from an execution standpoint?
Well, I'm going to list a couple challenges actually, because the obvious ones, we're downtown Sarasota, it's busy, we're on the 17th floor, and this is a full gut remodel, which means there's a lot of logistics that have to happen and a lot of time spent organizing materials and people getting things up and down. And so that is one obvious challenge. But I think I'll call it a challenge because it exists on every one of our projects where we challenge ourselves to exceed our clients' expectations. And this project was one of those that, really, Ronnie had really high expectations, so that makes it even more challenging to exceed those. But I think we nailed it, and it was really exciting.
What's your favorite aspect of the condo? There's a lot of stuff going on here, but what's your favorite, you think, or top three?
It's again another wonderful question, and I ask myself that every time I walk into this unit. There are so many aspects of the building, of the unit, that are so spectacular and so wow inspiring. Probably the most important aspect of the building itself is our agate wall when you walk into the foyer. That was for me the most important part of the build out. Not only for me, I always build projects, not for me, but my friends and family. When they walk in, I want them to feel awe-inspiring. It took me some time to really think out the process of when you walk in, because when you walk in, you're not walking into a view, a spectacular view, and that's always awe-inspiring. And I had to figure out a way to make that entranceway special, and I think we developed something that was more than special.
There's a lot of special features of this condo that I really enjoy. I loved putting the wine storage together, and I also really enjoyed the agate, 11-foot agate lit up wall of stone, natural stone. It's just absolutely stunning and beautiful. Definitely something we've never done before.
I think the overall collaboration between the design team and the client, and then us as the builder, is probably was my favorite part of it, because seeing those finishes first being presented as options and then working through those options and dialing into the details and connecting the finishes from one room to the next or within one room, that was really my favorite part of the project.
My favorite part of the project was really the collaboration with Brittany, my wife, and the interior design, working with a client who we've had the opportunity to work with in the past, and having had that trust in place already really lends a little bit something extra to a project that you don't get when you're working with a client for the first time. With Ronnie understanding exactly the talents and the skills that Brittany brings to the table, and giving her full design creative freedom on this project, really allowed her to go on and on every single little detail, focus on every little aspect. And so this project turned out as great as it did because of the trust that exists between the client and Brittany, and being able to come into the project near the completion and just see how everything kind of unfolded, and the icing on the cake, getting a magazine cover with this project, working collectively with Trinity Design, my wife's company, and Trinity Construction, our company. I mean, you can't ask for anything better than that.
What was your biggest surprise with the project once it was all said and done?
Whenever I create an item, a product, a consumer product, a building, I always envision the end product. And to me, the end product came out much more emotional than I thought it would be. Every time I walk through here, it's awe-inspiring of what we're able to do. And again, it comes down to what Brittany was able to bring to the table, what Mike and his team brought to the table, as an overall feel. I mean, when you walk through this condo, it's so inspiring to see what contractors and designers and architects are able to do for a property.
So as a creative person, is it often difficult balancing out a client's requests and criteria, and then with what you are inspired to bring to the table?
Yes, always, because as a designer, I always want to do something new and creative and push the envelope a little bit. And some people are afraid of that, and they're afraid of seeing things or implementing things that they've never seen before. In this case, Ronnie really let me design new creative spaces that have not been seen before, especially in the Sarasota market. And I was able to have that reality come true with these designs. So in this case, no, but yes, it has been in the past.
Was there a portion of this build that was something you guys had never done before as a company?
There's a lot of technology in this unit. So lighting technology that we've never seen before, we were able to implement that here. The lighting fixtures are incredible, and there are fixtures here that are infinitely color changing, infinitely dimmable. So the options and the lighting palette are incredible, and they really help to accentuate the artwork throughout and the finishes throughout the unit. So that was something that we've never done before. Really happy with the way that turned out as well.
Sure.
This is the second project that we've gotten into specifically relating to condos. We really value our relationships with our architectural partners in and around the area, and really, they've got a great place and a great need, in what we do. But when we get into some of these condo renovations, you don't always necessarily know what you're working with. It's very difficult. You don't have permissions to come in and start, demolishing finishes and really start to get an understanding of, what kind of mechanical items are in what walls and what they may be. And so you really need to get into these projects and start removing items before you can really complete what your entire design intent is going to be. And so with this particular project, we opted to work in-house and get basically a very basic plan set together that would allow us to get a permit. As we came in, we got the permit, we started demolition. Things really started to kind of change once we understood what's going on. So, that's kind of a first for us, and not something that we want to get into all the time, but to have the team and the ability to come in and handle a project from start to finish in a design build phase is pretty neat to have that. But I like to kind of stay in our lane and do our building aspect, let my wife do the design, and work with our great architectural partners on our new construction projects.
What part of this build are you most proud of from an execution standpoint?
Again, I would like to just look at the finishes together and how well we planned for an edge of tile to meet the edge of the wood, to the drywall where it unifies with the wood details and the walnut. That's seamless, and there's the actual caseless doors made by Doorhauser they were a challenge to install and a challenge to plan for, but they are seamless in the end here. There's if you take a look at those closely, the details on those are very precise and they operate perfectly. I'm very proud of that.
What I'm most proud about this project is just the sequencing and the process of the project. This is a project that realistically I did not have a ton of involvement on personally. This is where having excellent team members on your team, guys who you fully trust and share your vision and your passion for, even the smallest of details, being able to give that to Jay and let him handle this project from start to finish, and being able to trust that he's going to deliver, on every single expectation for our clients, and ultimately having succeeded in doing so is something that I'm extremely proud of, because it's very difficult to build a team and to have a group of people who share your vision, but very blessed and fortunate to have that here. So that's what I'm proud of.
So this project was benefited greatly from our process where we actually do a full solid model detail of the entire unit. So once we removed all the existing finishes, we came in and we did an as-built analysis in our solid modeling software, and we utilized that and we dovetailed that in with what the owner's expectations and also the designer's finishes that had been selected. And it was absolutely critical for this project, like it is on all of our projects, to find symmetry, to properly locate our HVAC vents and to make them as discreet as possible. So it's one thing that I'm very, very proud of on this project is the use of that model and how we organize really the entire project through that model. And if you look today, you can find that even our fire sprinklers are located in symmetry to one another. Our lighting all follows a path that makes sense. Our HVAC vents are centered in walls and ceiling locations that are above artwork, for instance, because everything is meant to be symmetrical in some of these areas. So I think that our processes just really are amplified on a project like this. where there are these very intense lines of symmetry that we're trying to find and details that we're trying to hone in on.
I appreciate you taking the time to take a look at this unit with me today. I hope you enjoyed understanding what goes into building a property of this caliber. If you've got a property like this in the Sarasota area that you'd like to have showcased, if you've got a property like this that you are interested in selling and want someone to effectively market the property in the way that it deserves, give me a call and be well.